FM 96.1.
North County.
AM 1170.
San Diego. The Answer.
This program is sponsored by Dave Stahl. It's time to get educated on your Second Amendment right. It's time to get locked and loaded with a special 4-hour gun sports radio broadcast live from the Crossroads of the West Gun Show at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Your hosts Dave Stahl, Lance Pelkey, and Michael Schwartz will teach you anything and everything there is to know about firearms, self-defense, and the laws that affect your American right to own and bear arms. Visit gunsportsradio.com with your questions and comments, or to learn how to become a sponsor and or guest of the show. Now, here's your hosts, Dave, Lance, and Michael, coming to you live from the Crossroads of the West Gun Show.
All right, folks. Hey, that's right. We're down here at the Del Mar Fairgrounds in O'Brien Hall. If you happen to be in the car and you're listening and you got nothing to do, come on down. Hey, this segment is brought to you by San Diego County gun owners. Without them, we would be sitting back at the studio freezing to death. But Michael Schwartz, who runs probably one of the best Second Amendment organizations on the planet, was nice enough to get us out here. Mike will be with us all day today. We'll be here till 5 o'clock. And let me tell you, if you've never been to a gun show, you need to come down. But you also need to throw $10 at Mike. Join the San Diego County gun owners. Their booth is right next door. They've only got 500 people in front of them, but we'll wiggle you to the front if you mention radio. So, Michael, Lance.
We're all here.
Joe, welcome.
Say hi, Joe.
See, Michael,
Hi, Joe.
Or Lance never been before.
Yeah.
So he's the rookie. So
I'm looking at all these people here. It's so exciting.
Well, we know how to take care of this place.
Wow.
So, Mr. Schwartz, who's your guest?
Absolutely. We have a very special guest, Susan Sledge.
Hello.
From P2K, who's also a world-class trap competitor, right?
Yes, international trap shooter.
International trap shooter.
God, I need
and
her.
also one of the nicest people I've ever met in my whole life.
Oh, thank you.
And she does a fantastic job. She works for P2K, and we've known each other for years. And you're here at the show promoting P2K, right?
That is right. We're promoting our new Winter Gunderland.
Nice.
event.
Gunderland?
Gunderland.
That's easy to say.
Yes, it is.
Well, before we do that, let's talk a little bit about
Yeah.
you. What got you into guns? Did you have a mom and a dad that got into it? Kind of give us the Reader's Digest version.
Sure. So my dad actually brought me out to P2K when I was 12 years old. I shot my very first round of trap there, and I got 5. I was super excited. Out of 25.
Wow.
I was super excited. And after that, that was it. I went to the range with my dad every week, and it just grew from there.
That's
And just
better
did-
than me on most days.
And that's just doing trap shooting. That, you kind of got into it, you stuck with it.
That's right.
Well, I guess you did pretty good. You've gotten a couple of medals.
Yep, I made a few world championship teams.
All right.
So that's world championship. So you've actually traveled internationally.
Mm-hmm.
Where are some of the places you've gone to compete?
I've been to Italy, Croatia, England, China, Belarus.
Whoa.
She's amazing.
And you outshot them all? Come on, take
Pretty
the credit.
darn close to it.
Take the credit. If anybody wants to challenge you, they can come to P2K and give it a shot, right?
That's right. I'll take
She has
challenges.
an amazing career. Susan Sledge, Google her. She has an amazing career shooting trap. Do you have like a nickname that works hammer in at all? Like Susan
I think
Sledgehammer?
Sledge
They
probably
call me
works.
Sledgehammer.
There you go. Nice.
Susan,
Awesome.
what is your the gun that you use, or the gun that you like the most, or you prefer the most there when you're competing?
I have a Perazzi MX-11.
Oh, Perazzi. Oh, my gosh. She just put a stick
Is that
through
your
my
favorite?
heart.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
it never breaks.
Is
There
that
you go.
why you went to Italy to get that?
Perazzi.
No, actually, my dad bought it for me.
Oh,
So
What a dad.
beautiful Italian
You've been shooting
shotgun.
that one for a while, or is that?
I've shot it my entire career.
Really?
You haven't even ventured out and tried anything else?
No, why bother?
Well, yeah. I know. Once you drive a
got the
Ferrari,
bug.
why would you go to a
That's right.
Volkswagen, right?
So at your peak, like how much do you practice to be that good at trap?
I would shoot, when Miramar was open before they got shut down, I would shoot 2 to 3 times a week, and I would shoot between 75 and 100 rounds a day.
Wow.
Because I focus more on quality versus quantity.
Yeah, gotcha. So where do you practice now?
I'm actually retired. I've been retired for 3 years.
You're not old enough to retire. Get your butt back out there, girl. Come
My
on.
bank account said I was.
Oh, that's right. You don't make a lot of money ski shooting.
No, you spend a
Or
lot of money
trap
doing
shooting.
it, though.
Are you doing private lessons?
Not at the moment, but
Okay.
we will be starting that next
But
year.
I think you're responsible for me getting my butt whooped by those 13-year-old girls that are there
That's
all
why
the
he
time.
won't go out anymore.
They outshoot me every single time when they go there. It's a lot of fun.
That's excellent. That
Yeah.
means they follow directions.
Yes.
So what's the best advice? Somebody that's out there missing all the time. What do you? They want to get better at trap and skeet and sporting clays. What's the best advice?
I
What
think
they should
he
be
just
working
said
on?
it. Follow directions.
Follow directions.
Funny thing.
A lot of people actually end up looking at their bead at the end of the barrel, and then they're not looking at their target, so they'll be behind it every single time. So you have to look at the
there you
target.
go.
It's like throwing a football.
So what's the point of having the little thingy on the end of the barrel, right?
Just to make sure that you're all lined up
At
with
least you're
it.
the vicinity. 2 eyes or 1 eye on a shotgun.
2 eyes.
There you go. Absolutely.
That's good. I just learned something right there. I should probably open up both eyes.
Yes, open
Yeah,
up
you
both
probably
eyes.
should. You'd be surprised what you can hit.
So you're retired, but you work at P2K.
Hey, Marine.
You must get out there and shoot a lot and have some fun, though.
I've actually been shooting pistols a lot more than I have shotguns lately.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are you getting pretty proficient?
Yeah, we have a new virtual target system that's out there, and that thing is
You know
a
what?
blast.
Talk about that because I've been hearing a lot about that.
Michael wants one for his birthday, for Christmas.
Dennis keeps telling me about it. He says it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. So it's a projector, and it shoots an image onto a white piece of paper, and then there's like infrared and cameras and stuff, and it will read your shot placement on the white piece of paper. But while you're playing the game, like carnival games, you shoot the little duckies and they fall over, or they have zombie games where the zombies walk at you and you have to shoot them, or else you die in the game.
Right.
It's a lot of fun.
So it keeps track of it, you know.
It does keep track
You
of it.
don't have
Keeps
to
your
do
score.
math.
No math. It adds your times at the end. So if you shoot bowling pins, it keeps
That's
your
why
score.
I quit bowling, just because all that math. Holy moly.
But you're shooting your gun with your ammo.
Your gun and your ammo.
So,
That's
Susan,
awesome.
what is your preferred handgun then nowadays?
I have a CZ75B.
Okay. Ooh,
Did Dad buy that for you, too?
No, I bought that one.
Thank goodness.
Is that a roster
That's what I
gun
was
or
going
off
to
roster?
I was just going to ask that. Is that one of our roster guns?
It
or,
is currently until the end of the year. Then no mas.
Oh, it's going to go away. They're not
Come
going to
down
play
to
the
the gun show and get
Yeah,
one.
CZ said that they weren't going to be renewing their
California license.
California license.
Yeah, it's going to be time to revisit that roster again here, I think. Little discussion.
Yeah.
So working at P2K, how much does that pistol roster affect sales?
Well, we've been selling the same guns for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
It's
That's
crazy,
all
right?
Yeah.
It is.
Dennis, who runs P2K, great guy, described it. He said it's like those old movies. You ever see a movie where they go to Cuba and everybody's driving around in like 1950s, cars
Yes.
because of the embargo,
That's
right?
exactly
They can't
right.
get new cars.
Great
That's exactly
description.
what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah, and CZ said it wasn't even that a part was changed in the firearm. It was
Yeah.
the person that was doing their engraving. And that was it. That was the change.
So they can, just so everybody understands,
Mm-hmm.
CZ can no longer sell a pistol in California because they changed the way they do the engraving on the pistol.
That's the way we've been told by
There's
CZ.
no functionality change.
Well,
They're
that
not.
sounds like a valid excuse to me. I mean, gee whiz. I mean, hello.
And because they changed the engraving on the
Bad.
pistol, they now are required to go through the process again, and they're required to have technology that doesn't even exist to be in their pistol.
And spend lots and lots of money to go through that process because
Right.
it's not free, right?
Right, exactly. So, unfortunately, Susan's trying to make a living and sell some guns and sell some training, and that's how it directly impacts people. That's how these stupid laws directly impact people.
Yeah.
So, talk about
Terrible.
P2K. Why should people come down to P2K and shoot and be a member?
And where's it located?
We are located in El Cajon, and we are the largest hybrid shooting facility on the West Coast.
What's that mean?
We have outdoor clay target shooting and indoor rifle pistol
that's why
shotgun
she's there.
up to 100 yards. Yeah, and we're San Diego's only legacy range. We're coming up to 100 years in 3 years.
Really?
They've been around for 100 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
That's
you'll
crazy.
have no problem finding Susan. She's the one that's got a smile on her face. She has not stopped smiling since she sat down. Now, do you frown when you miss a target?
No.
God, I like this girl already. All right, hey, we're going to have to take a quick break. It's a thrill having you on, especially as our first guest.
Thank
We're
you
gonna
for having me.
We're going to get you back on, too, folks. You are listening to Gun Sports Radio. We're down here at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Come on down. We'll be here till 5 o'clock. We have grenades. We're literally throwing at our favorite listeners. And if you could catch it, you can keep it. Right here on FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The answer.
All right, right, folks, welcome back. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
And we're down here at the Del Mar Fairgrounds in the O'Brien building. We'll be here till 5 o'clock. If you want to come down, stop by, sign up for San Diego County gun owners, we'll give you a grenade. That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
A nice little soft plush grenade. Hey, this segment is brought to you by Firearms Legal. Let me tell you what. Firearms Legal Protection is the best legal protection for self-defense. Check them out on the website. Go to firearmslegal.com. That's firearmslegal.com. Well, Ringmaster, who have you got next?
Another very special guest, San Diego County gun owners endorsed candidate for supervisor, County Board of Supervisors out in East County, Joel Anderson.
How you doing, Joel?
I am fantastic. What a great place to be on a Sunday.
Isn't it, though?
No, isn't it, though?
You know what? What cracks me up is, all the protesters say all these crazy things. You look around, you see nothing but families having fun together on a Sunday.
All these little kids.
Yeah, it's
they're
fantastic.
everywhere. And dogs. Don't forget the dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Kids,
of course.
dogs.
You mean you didn't see all the criminals and gang members and people here buying
Here,
guns?
pull your mic
Saw
up a
that.
little closer to your mouth. There, a little bit closer. There you go.
Yeah. And
No, I didn't see any of those folks, but, there's plenty of county sheriff here. Making sure everything's done
I've
right.
never seen it.
I even see wives down here.
Oh, yeah,
Wives.
families.
Yeah,
Grandmas,
whole families.
grandpas.
It's
Well,
great.
when I was walking in, there was I don't know how to politely say this, elderly woman.
That'll work.
What looked like with her son, but she was the one that was carrying the rifle.
Really?
So I
There
don't
you
know
go.
if she bought it here or she had some repairs or what was going on, but she was walking out with a rifle. So
Well, she
somebody
could-
had an early Christmas.
Yeah, I guess so.
She
Well,
couldn't
this-
have bought it here.
No.
She'd have to wait for the 10-day wait period. So maybe it was like a replica,
Or maybe she was getting.
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
she was trying to sell it. But
Oh, that could be it. I don't know.
Joel did an awesome job yesterday of organizing a press conference. So everybody may have seen it. You can see it on our YouTube channel. You can see it on KUSI, local NBC, Channel 10, covered all over the place. Union Tribune. What was the catalyst? What was the idea for the press conference? Joel?
They're always gonna focus on the naysayer protesters. They're never going to focus on the citizens who just want to express their Second Amendment rights.
Right.
And I think that when people, it's unfortunate there's not a camera fanning this floor so people could see that these are your neighbors, these are your friends, these are your relatives who are out here with their families having a good time.
Right.
And they always want to slant it in a way that's just simply not true. When I was in the legislature, they passed a law that said if you're on probation from armed robbery, you've served your time, but now you're on probation with armed robbery, and you get caught with a weapon, say a pistol, like the pistol you used when you robbed somebody, they'll cite you as a misdemeanor and not kick you back to prison. So wait a minute, we're going to let them skate, but we're worried about us?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Well, that falls right back into that old thing I say to every politician I meet. You can have my Mossberg. You can have my 9mm if you give me a 6-month plan on how to take guns away from the criminals. And you know what? And I've asked 2 politicians, and they both said, what? You know how difficult that would be? Oh, I see. So you're going the easy route. You're going to take it away from law-abiding citizens.
Right.
But how could they say that's too difficult, where that is the problem? It's the criminals that have the guns, not you and I.
Absolutely. And yet the focus is continuing on us as if we've done something wrong.
Right.
And we haven't. We follow the law to the T.
So one thing I've always respected and liked and learned from you, Joel, is leading that, taking the narrative by the horns and leading that narrative and saying, hey, look, we're going to do the press conference. We're going to call the press in. We're going to deliver the message, and I think you do that better than just about anybody in San Diego County.
Well, I appreciate it. And by the way, this is Joel Anderson. I'm running for supervisor.
You got to do that. No, you got to do that.
Every time I get a nice compliment, I want to throw that in. But, listen, Michael,
He really is a politician. That's another thing I've learned.
That's great.
Well, it's
Joel.
too often. I saw this in the legislature. I saw it around. Everyone says they're pro-Second Amendment. They're for the Constitution. But then when it's time to actually fight for our constitutional rights, they all run for the hills.
Yeah.
They want to go on record as saying it. They just don't want to go on record as doing anything.
Right.
Well,
And,
Joel,
we got to be proactive. If we believe in the Constitution, we've got to fight for it. People have given their lives so we live in freedom. And to turn around and not continue the fight to keep our country free is just flying in their face and wasting their life.
Yeah.
So I think it's our constitutional obligation to fight for our rights.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that we really liked about you, and that's why, as the San Diego County gun owners, we've endorsed you for that position, because it's just too important. Politicians need to stand up, and you've always done this, where if you believe in something, then you're right out there, and you're standing up, voicing your opinion for it, and that's really something that's missing today out there. So you're just doing a great job, Joel.
Well, I really appreciate that. It's always amazing, though. People work so hard to get in office to do nothing. They sit on their haunches and just go to cocktail parties. And all I can think of is, when you get elected, you are given, you are blessed with that opportunity to make real change in people's lives and improve their lives and lift them. Yeah. And, when I was in the legislature, the pro tem of the Senate would always love to say that we were the 5th largest economy in the world, and if we were a nation state, we would be great. Yeah. And every time he did, I'd throw my mic up and say, great nation states don't measure themselves based on how many rich people live in Silicon Valley, but how few poor people live in Central Valley. 1 in 5 Californians, 20% of our population, lives below the poverty line. Oh. It's disgusting. We have the most poverty in California, more than any other state, and yet they continue to talk about how rich Silicon Valley is. This is the same as it always is. You have politicians who are interested in being in office but not fixing the problems. And, not only am I going to fight for the Second Amendment and make sure that we always have a gun show up here, but homeless is a huge issue. And yet the electeds are doing nothing, little to nothing, to solve that problem. And you can't walk in a park in East County or go to a library without fear
or jog along
assaulted.
the river, the San Diego River from Santee to Ocean Beach is basically it's like a resort for homeless people.
And I believe we have about, half of the homeless in the country, almost half of the homeless in the country live in California.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hey, let's start shipping them to Nevada. Nah. That seems to be the new trend, right? Just pack up your homeless and put a stamp on their forehead and send them down the road.
Well, I know plenty of people like to kick the can. But I actually
by the way,
listeners,
that was not Joel Anderson.
No, that was James Dahl, Postmaster General. Well, no, I said that facetiously. Trust me.
I know you're kidding. But, it's frustrating. And no matter where I am in the district, we've walked most of the district already. I have 400 volunteers working on my campaign. And time again, it's homeless, even if you're out in Pine Valley. You'd think Pine Valley would be insulated from it. But, no, their concern is homelessness. Look, it's in our best interest to solve that problem, to get people off the streets, back into jobs and in apartments and being producers, not takers. And at the same time, it's good for society. So I think there's a lot of solutions that we can do, but we can't keep talking about it. We actually have to put our words to action.
You have to do it. You're a doer. See, and it was always frustrating. You before you got into politics professionally, you were an activist, and you were extremely active. And, I'm sure you can relate. It is enormously frustrating when you hear from politicians, they kind of tell me, they're there, Mike, and they pat me on the head and say, don't worry, I'm not going to vote to ban guns. Okay, well, that's such a minimum requirement. We need you out there fighting. We need you out there getting on the news, and we need you out there, talking to people and leading and protecting. And, and like I said, you do that just about better than anybody else.
Well, when I was in the Senate, I came down here and testified in front of the board. When trying to shut down this gun show has been going on for a decade. Yeah. And I always sent letters in support, and I also came down here personally, flew down just for an hour to testify in person, and then fly back to Sacramento. Again, to work that hard to get into office, to roll over and not do your job is outrageous. And for so many of these people, I think that this is a part-time job. They have another job that they're more dedicated to. But, this is why we never solve any of the problems.
So
it takes a lot of work.
How are you going to get more of your colleagues into, of course, not your Sacramento colleagues anymore, but how are you going to get the county board to get on board with being more friendly to shooting, more friendly to shooters, gun owners, that sort of thing? What are some things that, not just some specific things that you champion, regulations,
right.
But how are you going to get the other, Nathan Fletcher? That guy's horrible on gun issues. How do you talk to him, or what do we do? Or maybe it's not a matter of talking anymore.
Well,
maybe it's a matter of.
Well, I don't think it's just about Nathan Fletcher. I think it's across the board. I think what we need to do, though, is your organization has offered great opportunities for people to come out, go to the range, get to see what everyone's talking about firsthand. I think part of it that I witnessed in the legislature is I remember one of my colleagues saying, well, what's the most dangerous bullet? And, and they couldn't understand how all this works together.
What's the most dangerous? Because that's the one they wanted to ban.
Exactly. They're looking for the most dangerous bullet.
The one in a criminal's hands. That's the most
I felt so sorry for the CHP because the CHP had put this CHP every year invite all the legislators to understand what they do. So you can go down there, they walk you through generally what their job is, and then half the group goes to the gun range and fires awesome weapons and learns a lot about them, and the other half goes to the racetrack and learns how to drive sideways down the road.
Yeah.
And I was so angry because we spent 4 hours through stupid questions. Usually it took a half an hour. Then we'd have 3 hours out on the range to try different things. And, by the way, they gave awesome tips on how to be a better shooter. And it was very helpful to me. But that year I had to go back to the legislature. I had a committee to go to. And my colleagues were still asking these idiotic questions about the most dangerous bullet produced.
Well, is there somebody that you like that's running in South? Is there a candidate that you support running in South to help you on the county board? Or
well, you know what?
Look,
I think part of this though is getting people exposed to it, right? If they saw it, now Nathan's been exposed. He's pretty trenched in, but I'm not sure that's what everybody feels like. I think that if we can get some more folks out to the range, if they can actually see how this works, if they came to the gun show and actually were open-minded. I got to tell you, as a legislator, I went to a lot of leftist groups and leftist organizations because I wanted to be fully knowledgeable. I didn't just want to vote against them. Right. I wanted to see and understand because I may be wrong. I've changed my mind on a lot of things along the years, and it made me a better legislator.
Well, sometimes it's not just left and right. I mean, you have Gaspar, who's generally considered to be on the right, but we can't get her. She doesn't want our support, and she's had some good votes. She's had some bad votes. She's a mixed bag. I don't think she's someone we can trust, to be honest with you, but I'm not sure yet.
Well,
but then on the other side, you have Olga Diaz, who's running against her. She's ringing up my phone. She wants to sit down and talk. So it's not just a left versus right thing. I think I agree with you on that.
Olga is a very interesting person. I mean, she is. I have found her to be very smart and very open-minded. So I'll be curious how that meeting goes when you meet with her.
I'm curious too. I'm looking forward to it. Olga, I know you listen every week, so call me up. I want to meet with you.
Well, I believe that her husband's in law enforcement.
Yeah,
so
retired. Yeah,
yeah.
He was a Marine and then retired law enforcement. I'm pretty sure he's retired, but yeah.
And Michael buy lunch.
Yeah.
Well,
always good.
Michael's very generous.
I know. Well, we got to go. That's the only reason I jumped in. I figured food would stop the train.
You bet. That's Joel Anderson for County Board out in East County.
How do people help?
Well, you can go to Joel Anderson, supervisor2020.com, or I have an office across the street from Parkway Plaza. We're walking precincts every day. And if you'd like to make a donation, you can do it on the website, or you can actually call me on my cell phone. It's 619-204-2200. I'm proud of what I do, and I'm not afraid to give out my phone number.
That's right. He will answer too. He will answer.
Well,
if you're not,
if I'm on the phone, I won't answer. But leave a message. I'll return the call.
All right, folks. We're gonna take a quick break. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio live down here at the Gun Show at Del Mar in the O'Brien Building. Come on down. We'll throw a grenade at you. You'll love it. Right here on FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The Answer.
All right, folks, welcome back. You're listening to FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The Answer.
This segment's brought to you by TDT Construction. Hey, you getting ready to do a kitchen remodel, maybe a room addition, or build your dream home? Well, TD Construction does it all. Go to tdconstruction.com. They're local, family-owned, run business that you can trust with your construction needs. Don't overpay. Call TDT Construction today at 619-448-2353. That's 619-448-2353. Or just go to www.tdtbuild.com and check it out. A-plus rated with BBB. You cannot go wrong. All right. Well, let's see. What do we got here
next? We've got Dave Chong on the line.
Hey, Dave, are you on the line?
I am on the line.
How you doing, folks? David Chong from A.O. Sword. I ran into somebody the other day. God, I can't remember where it was. Said they were down at your store and was just blown away with the customer service.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. That's what we're all about.
Yeah.
Today's my birthday, but
hey, 22. All right.
Happy birthday.
So cool to hear you guys at the show. I had to drop a line and just spend time with you guys. What are you seeing down there?
You know, the general public really needs to come down and look for themselves. This is such a family-oriented event. I mean, there's kids, there's babies, there's strollers, there's grandmas or grandpas, and there's a lot of stuff above and beyond firearms. I mean, there are some really cool clothing, knives, you name it, it's here. I mean, it's definitely worth taking time out of your weekend. And we're going to be here till 5 o'clock, so people need to come on down, you know, if they haven't ever been to the show before.
Yeah. When I hear someone say, "Oh, well, I'm against guns, this or that," I'd love to take them to the range. I'd love to take them to a gun show because it's clear they haven't spent time with the average gun owner and seen how family friendly that is, what an educational environment it is, how safety focused we are. And you know, when you read the testimonials of people who write up blogs or whatever saying, "I used to be an anti-gun person, and then my friend finally convinced me to go to the range and open my eyes, and now I understand." The typical gunner is not who other people think they are.
Once they get past the noise, I think they're good. You know, that fear of the loud bang, once they get past that, then it all mellows in.
Sure, yeah. You know, there is that for the uninitiated, there's that sense of, oh, well, it's just so dangerous that it'll probably hurt me or hurt somebody else. It is far safer than your average motor vehicle. We see so many more deaths, unfortunately, from the careless use of a motor vehicle than any guns, even on purpose.
I know. We need to attach a cell phone to our gun, and that way everybody would start shooting.
Right.
Dave? Do you have? Maybe you don't have one, but what's your best story? Who's the most anti-gun person you've ever seen turn? Do you have a story like that, or?
Oh boy, good luck with that one.
I'd have to think about that and get back to you. I have a couple, but with each case, kind of, I wouldn't want to out them on the radio without their permission.
That's probably good. Because Joe is we were just talking about Joe's situation. How, you know, Joe Dramisi's now one of our blog guy. He's on our board, and
yeah, Joe, who really gets carried away is. You know, it's funny because I was telling someone I'm relatively new to it. You know, I grew up shooting shotguns and hunting rabbits and stuff like that. Everybody had a gun. But when I went in the Navy, I kind of put that away, and I really didn't pick that stuff up again until about 5 years ago. And up until then, I mean, if you would have asked me, you know, should we ban assault rifles, I would have said, yeah, why do people need military weapons? I had no clue. I had no idea that that's not what they are, and it has nothing to do with anything. And it's just, you know, and I would have really thought I knew about guns because I was pretty aware and everything. And there's a lot of people like that now.
Sure.
You had no frame of reference, Donnie.
I will tell you maybe one of my favorite stories about perception around guns. I was elected to the Board of Education for our local school district, La Mesa Spring Valley, and served 4 years. And when I first came on, the teachers and staff heard about me and who I was. They knew I was a PTA president serving at one of the local elementary schools, but the only other thing they knew about me was that I was a gun dealer, and that was scary to a lot of people. And so I went school by school and spoke at the union meetings, spoke at the staff meetings and teacher meetings, and just introduced myself. And pretty much each and every occasion, some of those people who were very apprehensive and unfamiliar with guns, came to learn that, oh wow, here's a gentle and soft-spoken person who is so adamantly in support of the Second Amendment rights of every American, but not because he hates people or likes violence, but quite the opposite. That a gun in a person's hand allows you to lovingly protect life and prevent violence. And it was a different perspective for people, and I think that they got a really different sense than they might have originally had. And from those meetings, I did have follow-on conversations with several individuals who actually wanted to pursue their right to carry in the classroom, which at that time when I was elected, we did authorize people to carry in the classroom who were duly licensed and trained and vetted by the Sheriff's Department. Unfortunately, that made the state so angry that we and about 5 other districts were doing that the state made it illegal for us to use that exemption where the superintendent could authorize people to carry in the classroom or on campus with a CCW permit. And that was really a huge tragedy for local control and allowing local elected officials to determine what's best for their local, their local constituency.
I remember that. That was tough.
You're completely right about that too, David. And part of the reason we have that is, those laws like that one in particular are based on misconceptions that it's somehow going to be safer for everyone, if we create these kind of gun-free zones, and taking that right away from the local authorities where it belongs. It belongs with the school district and the local law enforcement to decide, how to best protect their people in their areas. But I think a big part of that, like you were saying earlier, is people just don't know. And I think we've neglected, those of us that do know, have neglected that education aspect for a very long time about getting the word out and helping people understand. Because I think most clear-thinking, rational adults, once they understand the facts, I think would not support so much of the gun control stuff that you hear out there, because it just doesn't make sense.
Well, that's absolutely right, Michael. You are a great keeper of statistics and researcher of true facts. Tell us, in the past 5 years, it made national news. There have been many school districts across the country, certainly not ours, unfortunately, but both on the elementary and secondary and even college campuses who have gone to right to carry. And how many shootings have we had on those campuses allowing concealed carry?
Not one.
Not
one.
The number's exactly 0, right?
Exactly 0. Yep, it's true.
I think that statistic absolutely speaks for itself.
By the way, David, we're here at the we're obviously here at the gun show. We're just out on the floor, and I just got pulled aside. I don't think you realized we were on the radio. One of your customers just pulled me aside, and he said, I remember my first meeting at AO Sword. I said, well, that's who we're talking to right now on the radio is David Chong. So he was real excited. He's a big fan of yours, and he's a big fan of ours. So it was kind of funny. He just pulled me aside to tell me.
Yeah, he did too, literally.
There you go, Dave.
Radio doesn't mean nothing to that gentleman, but that's okay.
So David, you're going to be on for 2 segments, and one thing we're going to talk about in the next segment is are we going to talk about the barrel question I had?
Sure, happy to do it.
So we're going to talk with Dave. Of course, David from AO Sword out in El Cajon.
Yep.
Fantastic gunsmith. Doesn't just assemble. He's actually a gunsmith. Has a fantastic selection of firearms of all kinds. But one of the things he does really, really well is he kind of has this concierge service for building your own custom AR, which is very, very cool. And the question I had for him that we're going to answer on the other side of the commercial is, how do you know when it's time to change your barrel?
Geez. Hang on to that question, Dave. Folks, go to aosword.com, aosword.com, or you can call them at 619-749-4867. and be ready for the best customer service you've ever experienced. Dave, we'll talk to you down the road, man. I appreciate it.
No, we're going to talk about it in 2 seconds.
Oh, 2 seconds?
Yeah, on the other side of the commercial.
Wow, you're really
Stay
a
tuned.
scheduler. Let me tell you.
Stay tuned.
This is FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
As a retired RN, I know the importance of nutrition. I always have. Good food, it's actually healing you from the cellular level out. I'm living proof of that because for the past decade, I've been dealing with very painful brown spots on my forehead, and the brown spots, they're gone. There's only one thing that changed in my life, and that was taking Balance of Nature.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we will take an additional 25% off of your first order. Plus, get a set of convenient travel bottles containing a free additional week's supply of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code HEALTH.
Red states versus blue, urban versus rural. As federal government keeps growing bigger, we the people are getting angrier when our side doesn't win. Are we at risk of becoming a nation permanently divided? In his latest book, Power to the States, How Federalism 2.0 Can Make America Governable Again, talk show host and author Bob Zadek explores factions and divisions that are inevitable and a solution that's been there in the Constitution all along. Power to the States features conversations with top scholars, statesmen, and a sitting state Supreme Court judge. Bob and his guests show how liberals and conservatives are rediscovering the virtues of federalism, where states become laboratories of democracy and citizens vote with their feet when they don't like what government is doing. Order your copy of Power to the States at bobzadek.com today. Zadek. A house divided can't stand, but healthy competition between the states can make America more prosperous than ever before. Power to the States, How Federalism 2.0 Can Make America Governable Again. Available now at bobzadek.com. That's bobzadek.com.
FM 96.1 North County
and AM 1170 San Diego. The Answer.
Yeah, baby.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
This segment's brought to you by the good folks at Cali Key. For those of us in California, lawful AR ownership is increasingly under attack. California's assault weapon laws make it impossible to legally keep your AR rifle with the features it was born with. What is the solution? It's the Cali Key. Cali Key removes your rifle from the definition of an assault weapon by converting any mil-spec direct impingement AR platform rifle into a straight bolt action. It's a true drop-in solution. In less than a couple of minutes, you are good to go. No milling, no aesthetic modification, no turning off your gas systems either. Keep your entire AR collection intact at a price you can afford. Go to www.calikey.com. That's KALIKEY.com. All right, Michael, who you got?
So we still have David on the line. We're going to talk to him about when do you know it's time to change your barrel?
Yeah.
But then we also have a guy who just popped in on us here at the gun show. We lassoed him into sitting here with us for a segment. A guy who shot a gun at least once in his life before. Juan Hidalgo, who's running for Congress down in South.
That's right.
How you doing, Juan?
Welcome,
hey, Mike,
Juan.
how's it going? Thank you, Bob.
So first we got to get this one question answered because you got me on the edge of my chair.
There you
David.
go.
Yes, sir.
So when is it time to change your barrel?
Well, I'm happy to answer, especially with my good friend Juan Hidalgo sitting there in the booth. Good to hear your voice, Juan.
Hey, good to hear, Dave. Good to hear from you.
So there's really the question of barrel life. It really needs context. Pistol barrels are a lot different than rifle barrels, and then caliber makes a huge difference. To put it in perspective on the pistol side, I have changed out in 25 years just a few handfuls, and I'm talking less than 50 handgun barrels that were actually worn out. the majority of those were actually worn out because of over-aggressive, super enthusiastic cleaning. People wore out the throats or the muzzles by using aggressive cleaning techniques with abrasives, or by taking their cleaning rod and rubbing it against the edges of the crown. So we actually do more damage to our guns cleaning them incorrectly than shooting them does. But other than aggressive cleaning or improper handling, or things like storing them in a basement where it's cold and then hot and moist and then dry, those changes are what really hurt metals and wood. But other than mishandling, what's going to wear a barrel? Well, it's heat, it's pressure, and it's friction.
What
and
about,
that's gonna attack.
Hey, Dave, what about lack of cleaning? Say you're like Lance, and you have to find people to clean your guns, and he doesn't get around to it. Could that be a problem with a barrel as well, by just lack of cleaning?
If it's corrosive ammo that you're shooting, some Russian surplus, yes, absolutely. If you have a lack of cleaning combined with lack of cleaning combined with a corrosive environment like that dank basement I just mentioned, yeah, that can attract and hold moisture along the bore, so that can hurt it too. A barrel sitting dirty in and of itself isn't going to hurt you too bad.
Gotcha.
So should somebody? Is there like a cert? Like, what if I come in and say, hey, I've run a few thousand or whatever rounds through this. Is there a polish? Do you guys polish it, clean it, or anything like that? Or nope, you just run a snake through it, or you run a patch through it, or
this is why you don't clean your guns.
I hate cleaning guns.
I
used to love
tell.
it. I got to be honest, I hate it. But is there some kind of is that something you do, Dave, or is that just totally unnecessary?
We do clean, absolutely. A lot of people just are not fans of cleaning their guns, either because they don't want to do it wrong or because they want it done very right. And another thing you can do with the improper cleaner is you can actually take the finish off of your gun, whether it's nickeled or blued. Some people accidentally take the finish off of the outside of their gun using the wrong solvents or cleaners on the inside. So there are ways to get it right. YouTube is a fantastic resource. I got to get around to putting some instructions on my website.
Yes, you do.
Hey, I know a better place to go. Go to A.O. Sword.
There you go.
Just don't mess with it. Take it in, sit down, and let him explain it to you.
Well, Juan is sitting here. You've had a little bit of experience with cleaning guns before, haven't you?
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit.
Tell everybody what you did in a former life.
The former life, I was I'm a Marine. I'm also a master gunner. I'm a sergeant major, but so don't get confused. I'm not saying I'm a master gunnee. I'm a master gunner, tank master gunner, which we're considered tank experts. So you learn all the weapon systems for the tank and everything that's with that tank. 240 Golf, 50 cal, 120 millimeter main gun, 9 millimeter M16, everything. So you obviously have to know how to clean them as well.
And how long were you in the Marine Corps?
A couple days. I was in for, it took me a while to decide whether I liked it, so I stayed in for 31 and a half years.
31 and a half years. And now you're taking all that experience and you're running for Congress. Tell people about your district.
I'm running for the 51st Congressional District, which is basically the South Bay, west of the 805 after you pass National City, Logan Heights, Shelltown, University Avenue area, all the way out to El Cajon. And we also include the entire Imperial Valley.
Wow.
So it's a big district.
You're
busy. But and last night I was in Imperial Valley. Today I have a couple more engagements, and it is time that we put proven and tested leadership that will work for Americans and not for everybody else, because quite frankly, the guy that's in there isn't doing anything, doesn't serve anybody.
No.
And I always tell everybody, I don't care. I'm a proud Republican, but I don't care whether you're a Republican or Democrat or an independent. We need somebody in there that will work for every American, and that's what I'm going to do when I'm in Congress.
I agree. What do you think about that, Dave?
I think that's good news, and I believe him. And I encourage others to believe him as well. He's got... You take a look at his the platform he's running on. It is a thoughtful, caring, right platform for this community.
And I can honestly tell you, never seen a tank commander go the wrong way. And I'm only saying that because I used to drive a VTR, M88. You needed me more than I needed you.
We did. So you're a tank mechanic.
I pull your butt out of the mud quicker than anything.
I have a lot of respect for my tank mechanics, my brothers out there, and they did a lot of good work for us.
So how do people help you out?
Hey, if you want to help us out, which we need help, we're always looking for more people to support us. Go to hidalgoforcongress.com, HIDALGO.com, or go to our Facebook page, hidalgoforcongress.com, and there you can sign up to help us out. You can come join the team. We always have more room, and you can make a contribution. If you can't, $2,800 is the max you can do, but if you just want to send us $51 for the 51st, help us out.
That's a good one,
baby.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell everybody, penny to a million.
That's right.
Everybody's got to give back.
Hey, we're not trying to break anybody. We're working. There's nobody working for the middle class. Nope. Nobody. And the guy in there says they work for the middle class. They do not.
No,
we're going to serve everybody, including the middle class, the hardworking, and $51 won't hurt anybody.
Not a bit. And it's good to have a ex-military in there, even if you are a Marine.
I'm a Marine.
Yeah. That's why you have to vote for the right Juan.
That's right. The
right
Juan.
Like you had to make a bumper sticker.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's a good one. I said that with your guys in KUSI once, and people liked it. Hidalgo for Congress, and put the right one in Congress.
There you go. There you go. No, that's awesome. So you got any fundraisers coming up? Something maybe people would like to know about?
We will in January. Right now, the Christmas season, people don't want, and understandably, it's Christmas time. But we're still fighting the good fight. We're out on the streets every day. That's a big difference, again, with me is you'll see me out on the streets.
7 days a week.
6 days a week. I do take Saturday off. I'm resting, yeah. I put
you
God
don't need
first.
no rest? Come on.
I put God first. And I make no qualms about that. I tell everybody God first, so I always keep the Sabbath. So,
and I bet you can still do 20 push-ups.
Push-ups easy. I can still do 20 pull-ups.
And David, talk a little bit. We were just talking to Susan Sledge from P2K about how the laws affect your business. So when we talk about, when we get good guys like Juan to run for office and win and, get some good policies in there, talk a little bit about how these bad gun laws have negatively affected your business.
Well, the two I really want to hit on are the gun violence restraining orders that are happening right now and the ammo law. The ammo law is ridiculous, and for people who care about the environment, we're killing one tree to sell one box of ammo. It's unbelievable. If a person comes in and buys just a few boxes of ammunition, there's a preview, a pre-sale, a post-sale, and then an approval page printed for every type of ammo you buy. So you buy ammo if you buy defensive ammo and FMJ and for a couple different guns, you've got like 30 pages of background checks for that. That's twice as much as for a gun. It's unbelievable how quickly we have filled up filing cabinets full of paper documenting these ammo checks. They have not thought this all the way out, and we are hurting the environment with how many pages we print out.
That's crazy.
Also, lawful gun owners are being denied their background checks, and they're out $1 or $19. The criminals aren't getting their ammo over the counter, and we happen to live in other states, or live right next to other states that don't have background checks. Also, the internet doesn't care about California law, and they're still shipping ammo in. So it's just a completely misguided law, and it's really hurting people. I've seen fathers and sons wanting just to go out to the gun club and shoot a few rounds of clays with on a weekend, and because they don't have any guns registered at their new address, they can't take shotgun shells out today.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
But we all feel safer, don't we?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, right.
On the other side, and I'll be quick, we've had more than a dozen gun violence restraining orders come in on law-abiding citizens because someone got into an argument with them, or there's a divorce happening or something, and out of spite they get pulled a restraining order, and and they're always proven not valid, but they have to give up their gun.
All right, David, thank you very much. Mr. Hidalgo, one more time, how do people get a hold of you?
HidalgoForCongress.com or Hidalgo for Congress on Facebook.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much. See you, KUSI.
Thank
Hey,
you.
we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, don't go nowhere. We still got many hours at the gun show here in Del Mar. We're going to be here till 5 o'clock. Come on by. This is FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.